Not to watch anymore. It's not fair.
I'm sorry, guys. This show has a PG-13
Wait, what is that
rating.
timing, though? Like, what?
This is an R-rated show. I apologize to you all, but we cannot show what is happening on the Rift right now. I've seen less gruesome affairs in A&E. We will show you a replay of the break screen because it's still grotesque, guys.
Wait, that's Chasey. Wait, no, that was Razork as Chasey.
Yeah,
okay,
so Razork killed Chasey.
Yep.
Niski killed Razork. Niski has 5 kills.
I thought the whole game messed up and Niski was just having friendly fire on or something.
League with friendly fire would be an abomination.
League with friendly fire would be great.
Holy moly.
It's just a massacre in the fountain.
You could flash cancel and ult on your own teammate then.
Well, that was just out of left field.
Yeah, well, you've been taking L's today, so I thought I'd deliver you
just
one
handing me them on cool. Wunder's ganking bot. Okay, here we are.
Okay, so Wunder's gonna gank here.
Ooh,
flash away. Hylissang rooted up, pops the wild growth, but he will fall. Kazi was able to get the flash away. Hylissang still very low. The heal. Hylissang gets away. No way. Featherstorm flash. Okay, Reckless gets him in the end.
Well, Wunder has taken up the responsibility of the jungle role. He is now roaming around. This Gragas with a Sheen will start ganking everyone. Good flash. Caught Hilly. Didn't react in time. Niski will take away the blue buff. And Chasey is now pushed in mid because I think Niski took over top to match the kill.
Yeah.
Wunder will then catch the wave. I mean, good play by Wunder. You know, at least he gets the ball rolling somewhere. Now bot lane at least it can start winning, contesting. Reckless is the late game insurance. But this Sylas might be dove. Chasey's on the way up as well. It's a 3-man.
Okay, Humanoid has no flash.
He has ult though.
Steals away. Glacial Prism.
Is this the outplay of the century?
Miasma. Where's he gonna go, Kadril?
No,
Where's he gonna go?
Wait, Niski's tanking. Maybe Wunder. Wait, what just happened? Did he drop aggro there for a second?
He dropped aggro.
Okay, Razor's here.
You will not die alone, I think is the motto of this Fnatic
We
team.
ride together, we die together. Fnatic for life. Razor just comes in and... Okay, this must be a replay of top. So Chasey was trading with Humanoid. Razork is then up towards the top side. Lands a stun, I guess, and then auto Q ulti. Takes the fall afterwards. And Niski just ults him, I think, as he dashes forwards here. Yeah, gets the kill. So Herald top tower is down. Niski is 3,000 gold ahead right now of the Sylas.
It's a 6,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
11 minutes into the game.
The game, that mid gank just broke the whole game.
Which one?
The second one. When the Caster got the double kill and the Rod of Ages in base, that just...
Yeah.
The whole map just falls apart from that point onwards, because Elyoya and Niski can just run around the entire map, one-shot every single wave. They can basically 1v2 the enemy jungle, but they're staying together, so they're just... Yeah, they're unkillable.
And for Fnatic, it doesn't look great right now. Obviously, as we look at the current standings, Mad Lions already qualified to our top 8. Fnatic sitting at 2 and 4. They play Astralis and SK for their final 2 games this week. 4 wins is kind of where you need to be, although it doesn't guarantee you playoffs yet, because BDS are at 4 wins and they haven't locked. But 3 wins could be a tight one. It could be dangerous for Fnatic, and at the moment, it's looking like they're likely not going to play boss. Hilly no flash. They get the final chapter in. Hilly will fall. Razork able to pick it up. The Yuumi helping him out with a little bit.
Okay. Humanoid's here too.
Elyoya's here. Humanoid's joined the fray. Elyoya's going to keep him at bay.
A couple more of those Fnatic need. Well, a couple hundred more. No, about
like 6 or 7 more.
Yeah, exactly. They just need to keep finding picks. Does Reckless have his Mythic in base? If he does, that'll be great for Fnatic. At least they have something to play around. Because right now the top side is in shambles. Wunder is 2 levels down. Actually quite close to level 9, so not the end of the world. Chasey's halfway to level 10. Should ding on this wave. But Humanoid can't ever step up in mid. He's just scared of dives. Can't win trades.
You just have no control of anything as Fnatic. Only the bot side, as you say, really a possibility. Demolish coming in here for Chasey as well as they look to try and take this 4th plate. Humanoid will finally step up, gets himself a single minion out of that wave, and is 40 CS behind at the 12.5 minute mark.
It's tough.
It is tough. I think tough is probably underkill for this sort of situation.
What would you use?
15. I will probably be 15 in this game. You got 2.5 minutes left to show me, Fnatic, that you have some fight left in you. They have been finding a couple of picks here and there. Reckless has got his mythic. Razork will get the red. Elyoya getting away with Hylissang here.
Take this fight.
Petrifying gaze. That's hits onto Elyoya. The chase continues. Spectral more coming out as well. But the Glacial Prison turning around. Petrifying gets into Razork is enough. As Niski is dominating.
It's not done yet. No flash on Reckless.
Has the Featherstorm though,
Has to ult the Q there. Niski would have just melted through his health bar. Good steal away on the red, but yeah, a little bit of an overchase. The stun hit Elyoya, but he ults, gets the Radiant Virtue proc, and then he's fine. Doesn't even have to flash. Wunder knocks back Chasey. Here comes Humanoid, both level 9.
There is a Grump there. He's going to use the slice through Wunder. Don't know if he got the reset on that as Humanoid chases forward, flashes in the Dominus Poctus. JC trying to turn this one around in the 1v2. He's won this before. The healing from the Gore Drinker. And Humanoid is just burned down. Kingslayer back. But Chasey slices through him.
This is the second time that both the Fnatic solo laners have fought Chasey, and it's the second time they've lost in a 1v2. Reckless is kind of sitting there with Rux, just basically spectators right now of just the massacre that is this top side. There's 8,000 gold lead almost in 13 minutes. Nothing's really going right, and he's going to lose his bot tower for that as well, because he's had to catch mid waves because Humanoids tried to make a play top, and of course mid tower is more important than bot tower. So it all stings right now.
Everything stings for Fnatic. On Mad Lion's side, you're pretty jolly about this game. Things have gone pretty well for you. You know, you're 8,000 gold ahead at the 14-minute mark, and you are looking at trying to get into those top seeds. They can still challenge. Currently sitting at 4 wins, could get to 5.
Do you know there's one thing wrong with what Mad Lion's doing right now?
What is it?
Cassio has no boots. What is he doing?
Oh, man!
Niski needs to buy some boots.
I mean, Cassio, the epitome of scaling, obviously, in a game like this. Alongside Renekton, scales very well.
He's going to go Rylai's next or something, so it's going to be...
Missed the joke, but it's fine.
Did I?
It's epitome of scaling. That's Renekton and scale well. Because Renekton obviously doesn't scale well. In case anyone's tweeting at me right now, being like,
maybe it's like a double entendre. Is that what that word is for that?
Oh no, that double entendre tends to be more provocative.
Oh,
as a
what is it when it's like it's got a hidden meaning for something that's obvious, but it's the opposite? So it's Renekton has scales, but he doesn't scale well.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to get to, but I don't know the word for it.
Yeah, me neither.
And I feel like
that's why I took a shot in the dark.
Yeah, double entendre tends to be more like a oops-a-daisy, you know, like it's more provocative. I don't really want to explain it more. I should just shut up about it.
It's not an English lesson.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yep.
Is it English? No, I don't know. Okay.
Right now, Fnatic are being taught how to play snowballing League of Legends here. Mad Lion's still in a pretty big lead. Hillis trading onto Razor.
He wins those.
Come on, Hilly, you got this, man. You got Trellius. That's so much AP for you. Straight into him. Protect the control ward at all costs.
Yeah, and they're going to get top tier 2 by the looks of it. Wonder might throw it out. No, he can't throw out the ult. There's no one close enough.
Okay,
here comes it. This is it. All in for Fnatic. Try and get some kills.
Final chapter coming out. Niski able to dodge to the side. Vectors with quick planes away from the Glacial Prism. Niski's still back with the Petrine Gates and hits. Phantom being used. Niski exhausted.
Big shutdown.
The flash from Reckless. The shutdown goes over to Razork. And now the fight can really begin because Niski's already down. And there's so much of Mad Lion's gold. Reckless trying to heal up a little bit. Chasey going back in. Razork diving forward, diving back. Elio on the front line now as Cards. He's still untouched throughout the entirety of this fight. Is bolstered by Hillisang, but cannot find much more. Huge shutdown over to Razork.
Yeah, he's actually ahead in gold of Elioya now because of that shutdown. I thought it was going to go over to Reckless, and I think it should have gone over to Reckless, really, but the beauty of that fight is once the Cassio dies, the Viego gets the Cassio on their side, right? So Razork was just melting through Mad Lions, and that's why the fight was so good, but he had to ult out of it, and that's when the fight returned in Mad Lions' favor. Wunder contesting 1v2 here. Doesn't have TP on Humanoid, I believe. So maybe he's just spotting them out, trying to threaten something. And, well,
yep.
He's going to have to flash for it.
They didn't have vision, so they couldn't stun him across the wall, I think, there, because the stun was available. Maybe just out of range as well for Elioya. But the Rift Tower taken by Mad Lions 17 minutes in. Let's have another look at this fight.
So it starts off with Razork going on to Elioya, but Niski's the target. He actually gets ulted back from Wunder here in a second. You can see off the right there, Humanoid TPing in. Here comes the ult from Wunder, knocking him into the rest of Fnatic. But as he does that, he ults. Lands on Reckless, the cleanse comes out, I believe. Or it doesn't actually last for long, just ults the Q of Cassio. There's the flash from Niski, but over to the left, not over to the wall. Then E-flash from Reckless to get all the damage down. And then this is where Razork gets the Cassiopeia Soul, flashes forwards, gets the Q onto Chasey, and then starts melting through the Renekton with the Cassio body. Then he jumps out of it, and that's when Fnatic have to retreat.
See the damage that Razork is able to put down in fights if he can get that Cassio form. I was wondering what would happen if Viego stole a Cassio Soul when Rod of Ages was at like 9.5 stacks, or like 9 3/4.
Yeah.
And then it takes over to 10.
Does he get a free level up?
Does he get a free level up? That would be really interesting. I doubt it works that way, but it would be funny if it did.
No idea.
I did test once, if Viego steals your soul, he still stacks his own jungle item. He doesn't stack your jungle item if he takes a jungle count.
Okay, I mean, it's about the Rod of Ages thing. I presume it doesn't give you a free level up.
I agree, but it would be funny.
But you never know. I've seen weirder and wilder things in this game.
And right now, Fnatic not really seeing much of their own jungle at all. You can see Wunder up towards the top side, just trying to get an objective bounty. Still an 8,000 gold lead for Mad Lions, still 30 seconds or so on the Chem Tech Drake, would be the third dragon of the game for Mad as well. And Fnatic very much on the back foot here. Need a lot more of those fights, a lot more times when Niski is caught out, but he's now got 3 items. Rift Tower being used in the bot lane as well.
I mean, Niski's Rod of Ages is finished. Humanoids hasn't even started. That's the biggest issue they have right now.
It's on his way, man. He's trying. He's trying to stack it up. We saw G2 actually in this position just push down the bottom lane, but I think Mad Lions don't want to do that. They're just going to look for the inhibitor.
18
they will
minutes
take it.
What do we think about the 18-minute inhibitor?
Well, I think in this game, I think it's fine. I'm going to be honest, because I think they have enough tools to close out the game. The risk obviously is...
That's what they all say.
I mean, yes. And if Mad Lions lose from this position, I will happily eat my words.
I know, LS will be sitting there.
I'll eat a sock if Mad Lions lose from this position, I'll be honest.
Are we going to cook this sock, or are we just going to eat it raw?
It can just be raw sock, maybe some ketchup.
Is this a new sock, or is this a...
It can be a sock that you've worn.
Okay, well, okay. Okay, so if Fnatic win this game, Medic will eat a sock with ketchup. I don't know how that happened, but it just happened in the last 10 seconds.
I just realized what I've committed to.
Yeah, no,
There's
I'm
no
really interested
way
to watch Humanoid
lose from this position, though.
Surely they don't lose this game, right? Humanoid won't recover on these inhib bot waves. Reckless won't be a 5 items Aya in 10 to 15 minutes time. And
man, you've got Cassio and Zeri, and you have a Baron.
well, you're feeling a bit stressed now, aren't you?
I am.
Are you sure you can cast this game?
No, we're good. We're good.
Maybe
obviously, if Fnatic do mount a comeback, what a comeback it would be for them, and solidifies their hopes at making it into the top 8 as well. Mad Lions, though, still trying to stymie those for the moment at least. Baron up in 10 seconds time. Mad Lions can try and gain control around it.
Niski really strong now. Just picked up the needlessly large rod. That means he's got 2 now. Baron spawning. He can just rush that straight down with the Zeri. We'll see what they look for with this top push and mid push. Fnatic need to respond, get some vision around this Baron just in case they do look for it. TP behind.
Humanoid has TP, Glacial Prison going wide. Wonder the target though, he's trying to get away, does have the barrel. Chasey coming in, the barrel though. Ruthless Predator is enough into the CC chain here. Wonder nowhere for him to go. And Mad Lions pick up another kill, immediately ping over towards the big purple worm.
Yeah, I think Humanoid will try to get this bot tier 1. It's an objective bounty, then try to base. He needs a little bit of mana and then TP in. That's if Fnatic do want to contest this, or they can just try to push mid and get this mid tier 1. What is the call?
At the moment, looks like they're going for the bounties, maybe for a steal, possibly from Razork. Reckless now stepping forward. Humanoid yet to base.
This is your moment, Razork. Can you make Medic eat the sock?
Look at all of Mad Lions immediately jump across the wall. Keep Razork at bay, keep Fnatic at bay. And Mad will secure the Baron. 10,000 gold there. Lead now. 21 minutes in.
Yeah, so far ahead. I don't really know how Fnatic can find a way back in now. They're just going to start the siege with Baron, and what they will do is, even if they don't take your Nexus, they'll at least take 2 inhibitors minimum, and then they can just turn towards a Soul. So Fnatic need to make a last stand somewhere, try to take a fight. Next spikes, maybe Zhonya's on Humanoid. That's about it. A BF sword maybe on Reckless, and then just go all in. If they can kill the Cassio and take the Soul and have one of the Mad Lions carries on their side, then that's the only real copium take that they can find a way back in.
Yeah, how do you even do it though, right? Your jungle is in your own. You don't have any vision. It's a stopwatch, as you say, on Niski. He's got both sums. Everyone on Mad Lions have their sums apart from Chasey's TP. Now Mad Lions pushing in this mid lane. Wonder looking for something. And Elioya a little bit too far up. Will dash away with the Arctic Assault.
Thought Wonder was going to throw ult there as Elioya was a little bit stepped up a little bit too far. Chasey's here now. Looking to help his team. He's not sure if he wants to split away Niski as well. Once they get this tier 2, they need to push in top as well, ideally.
I mean, that's the one good thing for Fnatic right now. That top wave is all the way near where the tier 1 used to stand, and so they don't really have to deal with 2 waves of pressure. Instead, they just have the super minions in the bot, and then Mad Lions pushing in this mid lane. Now Niski will go up towards top and get that wave, try and sync it up with this mid lane wave, although not the best sync that I've ever seen.
Oh! A wild Kragas has appeared. Mad Lions get a little bit surprised. Are they engaging here?
Because they know Chasey got blasted the other way as well. They look for the engage. Flash away from Hillisang.
Flash from Razork as well, though. That's a really crucial engage point that Fnatic have lost now. It's on Wunder. It's on Wunder to find an engage.
And he's on vision.
Push in top from Niski, push in bots from Chasey, 3-man mid. Razork may be calling here for a pick onto the Cassio, but he's the one that's getting caught.
Uses the Heartbreaker away from Miasma there. Would have been rooted in just a second if he couldn't get out of it. Chasey fighting Humanoid on the Nexus towers. Mid lane inhibitor tower target for Kazi and Hillisang. No wave there for them now. Second wave bolstering up that top lane though, as Mad Lions going to try and split Fnatic around the map once again. Looks like the top lane inhibitor is forfeit here for Fnatic. The Nexus towers, as with super minions on them, mean that they have to back away and try and defend. Another wave in the mid lane now, and Mad Lions just pulling Fnatic all over the map. Wonder still looking for this engage. Humanoid going in the battle onto Niski, but he doesn't even get knockback. Glacial Prism being used now as Niski starts the offensive. Mad Lions on the chase, on the prowl here. The roots coming out from Reckless. And even the final chapter just used to disengage. But this is 3 inhibs for Mad Lions. 23.5 minutes in. And they are not stopping yet.
Might be over. They still have Cassio to work with, and the Lulu towers are being chunked out. Only 3 caster creeps left, but another wave coming through mid, another wave coming through bot. They need to get this bot in him again.
I'll go down. Chasey will start it up. Elyoya there as well. Fnatic do have defender's advantage here. They can get back, they can heal up a little bit quicker, but Mad Lions aren't really taking too much damage right now as Niski opens up once again with the Twin Fangs. A Medusa-esque cosplay here from Niski. Mythological in his power. And no real defense for Fnatic. Baron has expired, so these waves no longer buffed up. Super minions on their way, though. Double in the top and double in the bot lane. Petrifying Gaze stolen away, but it doesn't hit anyone. Razor gets the stun onto Elyoya, but once again, Matt just disengage and look for their opportunity to take down these Nexus turrets. Fnatic, last chance saloon on this game at least, as the weekend may be getting away from them right from the very start. They still need to make it into the top 8. They have never missed playoffs before, but Mad Lions are not giving them an opportunity to breathe. Elyoya falls low, but heals up right at the end with a heal. I think they're from Kazi. Niski kills off Humanoid. Fnatic just retreat to their fountain, but the Nexus is not even the target for Mad Lions. Instead, they want more blood. Reckless kills off Hidosang, but there's little he can do as he can only watch as Mad Lions secure the win.
5 wins on the board now for Mad Lions means they tie up with G2. We'll see how Vitality's game goes on later today.
And welcome back to the LEC Winter Split, where you're joined by Trevor for his touchscreen table tabulation talk. Quickly, before we jump into our last game of the day, 6 of our group stage teams are now locked, as you can see here, with 100%. We are looking for 2 more teams, and we have several games to play. Just quickly before I talk about Vitality and Koi, I want to remind everybody about how the group stage is going to work. Once we complete our final games on Monday, teams will be grouped into 4 buckets. Pool 1, Pool 2, Pool 3, and Pool 4. The teams who place first and second seed will be at the top of our respective groups. Then we're going to hit the randomize button, where each group will have a Pool 2, a Pool 3, and a Pool 4 team. The Pool 1 seeds, being in this example, if it happened now as Vitality and G2, they'll be able to pick their opponents. Vitality can pick Pool 3 or Pool 4. Let's say they want to play Heretics, meaning Mad Lions and Fnatic will face off in that group. And over for the G2 side, they'll want to play Astralis, and that'll mean that BDS and SK play one another. We will do a live group draw show at the end of Monday's broadcast, so stick with us all the way through there. I want to turn our attention to Vitality and Koi right now. As I've done all throughout the day, for Vitality, this is going to be an important game. Why is that? Vitality right now are already locked in to the top 8. What I want to know is, how do they lock top 2? Let's assume Vitality beat Koi. Their percentage scenarios goes up to 91%. Let's assume tomorrow Vitality beat BDS. All of a sudden, they're guaranteed 100%. But let's be honest about this. BDS are on fire, and I think BDS might win that game. So if Vitality then take XL down, which is very likely, they are still guaranteed a top 2 seed. Now for Vitality, this is monumental, because I want you to think back to the last time that Vitality was truly a contender for the title, at the top of the table. I mean, hell, how about the last time Vitality was considered to be one of the best teams in Europe? I have to go back to 2018 summer, where Jizuke and Attila were backed by Yamato Cannon, and they led Vitality to a 2nd place regular season finish and a 3rd place in playoffs. 3rd place finish in playoffs. Since then, frankly, Vitality has not been a true competitor until this year, until this moment. Vitality is on the cusp of being the best team that Europe has in winter. Let's contrast that to the best team Europe had in summer. Koi, formerly Rogue. The story's very, very different. As I ask production team to bring up the tool on screen in just a moment, I want to take a look at Koi's chances. So let's reset this one. Today, I want to look at what is the lock-in scenarios for top 8 for Koi. And let's be frank, they ain't beating Vitality. If I look ahead to tomorrow, I don't think they beat G2. And when I look ahead to the final day, I'm uncertain about Astralis, but for argument's sake, let's say they lose to Astralis. There are no longer scenarios in which they can lock in the top 8 if they go 0-3. But if we look at least a tiebreaker scenario, there are still 20% of scenarios where a tiebreaker game or tiebreaker rules could bring them into top 8. Unless Fnatic take down Astralis. So with the 0-3 for Koi and Fnatic taking down Astralis, Koi are eliminated, guaranteed to place 9th or 10th. Add on to the pressure of Koi, 4 of the 5 players this weekend, the majority of the roster in the organization, they hoisted that trophy in summer 22. Think about that for a second. Koi had won the regular season 3 times over the last 5 splits. They finished 2nd twice. Look at this table. Look at the success. The last time Koi was this bad, you have to go back to 2020. And they are on the cusp of being eliminated. The stakes could not be further apart for Vitality versus Koi. I said over to the analyst to break it down.
Thank you, Quickshot. We will come back to this throughout the weekend, of course, as we get ready for...
No,
Of course you do.
It's
Of
great.
course
It's
you do,
good
Mark.
content.
It
A
is
little
good content.
blooper roll.
It's true.
Well,
And here's more good content to round out our day. Koi versus Vitality. Koi's still sitting near the bottom of the table. Vitality up near the top. But we have heard a lot about how Koi can fight back, and we've seen them in the past, be regular season kings. I've said the word now.
did they have a legacy?
They were starting to establish a dynasty, and
Okay.
then it sort of collapsed. But if you can get to best of 3s, everything can change.
Ever since Emperor Odoamne left the clan, the dynasty collapsed.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a really bad fanfic, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
no, it's definitely a story there somewhere. But they need this win. This is really important because it doesn't get easier. Because tomorrow they face G2. I think on the 3rd day they do have a much easier opponent. Obviously they're not facing a top 2 team.
Yeah, they have Astralis.
Yeah, they have Astralis, so that's doable. The Jack's first pick, Vitality, weren't happy with that, so they've just dodged.
We'll be making Champions
They're
League.
going to do it again. They didn't know that they played Jax, so they're just looking around saying, what the hell? They're going to ban that out now. No, just probably an issue with Champ Select. We'll
Yeah.
jump back into that in a second.
You want to know a cool stat, Mark?
A cool
I keep calling
stat.
you Mark instead of Cadril because I'm trying to use people's real names more with them in person.
What do you prefer, Aaron or Medic?
I'm Aaron, technically.
Aaron.
Yeah, like Aaron.
I've known you for almost 3 years now.
I know.
You told me now.
Mark is a lot easier, I'll be honest, than Aaron. Yeah, so we just have a couple of issues, some audio issues with the Koi belt pack for their coach, so we're sorting that out.
Yep.
I hope our audio issues don't last too long.
Don't want to mute the coach.
Don't want to mute a coach, don't want to have to send everyone home. But the interesting stat that I was about to bring up.
Yep.
Guess how many mountain dragons Koi has taken?
See, the thing is, you told me this already?
Yeah, but this is where Vedi would just play along.
Oh, okay, wait. Let's try again.
Okay, wait. You know they've taken 0.
Yes.
Guess how many mountain drakes they could have taken?
How many they could have taken?
Yeah, so how many mountain drakes have spawned in Koi's games that they haven't taken?
4.
9.
9.
9 mountain drakes.
They
Do you want to know
haven't
how many mountain drakes Vitality have taken?
4.
Well, no, they've taken 0 as well.
Okay.
Neither
Well, okay,
of these
well-
teams have taken a mountain drake.
Okay, really? How
Maybe-
many Vitality, how many Mountain Dragons was that 4?
They've had 2.
Oh, for God's sake.
So of a total of 11 mountain drakes between these two teams, none of them have
None
been
of them have
taken
picked
by
up.
these teams. Yeah,
Wow, that has just changed my life.
I thought so.
That stat has just blown my mind and has changed who I think is going to win this game.
Okay, wait, who did you think
I thought
before?
the team with the more Mountain Dragons would win because they've ascended, they've hit the peak of the mountain.
Yeah.
But neither of them have. So now my bias is even.
Maybe it's more of a Marianas Trench type situation. Who's taken more ocean drakes? Oh, Vitality have taken every ocean drake possible for them.
Big.
Only 2.
Yeah.
But still,
They've got the
everyone.
Navy on their side.
Yeah.
What about Cloud? Who's got the Air Force?
This is awful. Okay, Koi have taken 3 clouds out of 5.
Yep.
Oh, they're both taking 3 clouds.
It's a battle in the skies. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Chemtech's come in, so there's 6 dragons now.
No Chemtechs for Koi, though.
That's dangerous. What about Elders?
No Elders either team.
No Elders
Koi
either
have had
team.
1 spawn. You also have the stats in front of you.
I know, but I like asking you because it just makes so it's more
of
interactive.
a conversation.
You know?
True.
We already have to cast off, different screens, so we need to make sure that we're more interactive when it comes to talking.
I find often when I watch your stream, it's like you're having a conversation with yourself sometimes.
See,
You'll ask yourself the same
I
thing
think
like
about
3
that sometimes.
times.
Can you imagine just someone just sitting in the corner, unaware what like Twitch is, for
I
example?
feel sorry for your neighbors sometimes, my dude. Like,
Don't worry
they
about
can
them.
hear everything that's happening.
They have a great time. Can you imagine just watching someone like stream,
yeah.
just like they're talking? I don't know.
It would be. It's an odd experience.
'Cause you kind of
go
are
back-
talking to yourself.
Imagine if you went back like 30 years. I think
Okay.
that's far enough back that people just don't have a concept of the internet.
Well, if
you know?
I drove into a castle with a tank in the 1500s, they also wouldn't. What are you on about?
I think 30 years is more like, acceptable, but yes, if you started streaming Twitch streams in the medieval times, people probably wouldn't watch you that much, I'll be honest.
Well, they
Do you think content would change? Actually, the Black Plague would have been a great time for XDD, wouldn't it?
Where are we going with this conversation?
Oh, the Koi headsets coach.
Did you just say that
has
not many people? Okay, sorry, yeah, carry on.
The Koi's coach's headset has died. We're getting a replacement set up and we'll be into Champion Select shortly. So as you can see, Koi just sorting things out.
Yeah,
Yes, I did.
Okay, so serious mode now because Koi need to win, and if Vitality win, then they are locked first, I believe.
I don't believe that's true.
No, I do.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go back with what I was saying. If Vitality win, they're locked first until tomorrow.
Oh, until tomorrow? Yeah, sure.
What did you think I meant, Medic? There's 2 days left.
If you say locked first, I think people are going to assume you meant locked first.
Well, no, until tomorrow.
Okay.
And Koi, if they win,
they have a much better chance of making it into the top 8. They're currently sitting at 2 wins. Getting to 3 means there are a lot of tiebreaker scenarios for them. Getting to 4, obviously, will very likely get them into our top 8. Elise band away, Caitlyn, Maokai, Lucian, Heimerdinger, Jax. Where are you going first, Koi? Do you value the Yuumi?
Varus, Yuumi could be something. Even seen Vi first pick. Sejuani could be something. They look at Ashe support as well there for Trimby. We'll see what they pair down there. Looking for something like an Ashe Jhin or an Ashe Varus. A Varus takeaway here from Vitality would be good if Neon wants to opt into that. And then it'll probably be some kind of Varus Karma.
Yeah, gives you push down towards that bottom side. Also protects you a little bit from the aggression that can happen from a double Halo Blades bot lane. There's the Sejuani though for Vitality. Bo's second game on the Sejuani. Did win the last time he played it as well.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to go for the Zeri instead. So
I mean, if it might not be Ashe support, but you're not going to do Ashe AD carry plus Yuumi, right? So you have Zeri Yuumi here for Vitality if they want it. It does struggle into like a Varus Ashe lane because you are just going to get pushed back a lot of the time. But if you can absorb that pressure against a bot lane that hasn't been firing on all cylinders, Neon and Kaiser can get to mid game in a very strong position.
Definitely, Vi is a really easy pick here into the Zeri just to make sure you can lock her down. Comp hasn't played Varus just yet. This split, I'll check all time, but yeah, that will be a first for him, but I think it makes the most sense. Didn't play Varus last year, didn't play it the year before. It's been since Season 10 that he's played Varus. On stage, obviously played in solo queue and scrims probably, so very comfortable in this champ, probably leaning towards a poke Varus depending on what Vitality draft. But I think here Vitality also have the option of just locking in something like Renekton for Photon on 3. You do sack bot lane a little bit, you know, you lose out on Lulu Yuumi, and they're going to have to find something else. But the easy and safe option is just to pick up one of those enchanters.
Yep, Lulu and Yuumi both work out well. Lulu gives you a little bit more in the lane. Yuumi gives you a little bit more scaling as the game goes on. And obviously, you can go double summoners, no flash on the Yuumi.
Yep. Can indeed.
And also, you know, it facilitates Photon if he gets ahead. Like, if Photon plays a carry top laner, brings out the Aurelia, put a Yuumi on her shoulders, it's pretty unkillable as the game goes on.
Yep.
And there is the Yuumi. Now Vitality can look towards their bans. Bot lane's picked, jungler's picked. What are you banning out here, Mark?
I think Azir must be a ban here for Koi. As much as Larson probably wants it, I think Perks will snatch that up on 4. I think Sylas is quite a powerful champion for Vitality too. You know, Ashe and Varus ult is amazing when it comes to dragon fights and looking for picks. So those are the 2 mid laners I would be eyeing up if I was Koi. Rai is banned away from Vitality. See what else they ban away. They could try to take away something like the Syndra perhaps, or something that pairs well with Vi. Talia is another good one that can follow up really well if Larson wants to go into that roam heavy style.
Could also look for something like the Victor, just to try and remove some of the safety for Larson in the mid lane. But I do agree with you, Syndra does give you a little bit more synergy with the Vi. Instead, Fiora, the ban. Is
that going to be a Camille blind pick and then counter mid? I don't think there's much value in countering mid if you're giving them Azir, but then the other side of the argument is why are you giving... do you care about giving them Azir if they're playing Vi? You know, Vi Azir, normally you want to play Ahri Vi, Talia Vi, Syndra Vi, something that can really follow up and
something gives you like that CC as well for the follow-up,
right? Any kind of follow-up is really important. So Renekton also another easy pick on 4, very common on red side. You can even flex it worst case.
With the Sejuani as well, works really well up towards that top lane. Makes it very difficult for Shigenda. We'll see where Koi decides to go with the final 2 picks. The Azir is a possibility, as we say. Vitality have R5 for their mid laner, or could be top if the Renekton is flexed. The Gnar, though, into the Renekton, and a matchup as old as time. You know, something we've seen so often. Now Koi have to look towards that mid lane. Galio does give you a little bit of follow-up on the Vi. Not as much AP and not as much magic damage as perhaps you'd like, and looks like Koi will err towards the victor instead.
Yeah, Weibo BLG today in the LP. I think there was a Galio Vi. It looked pretty good, really good collapse, but yeah, they're going to go Azir. I thought that was maybe something Vitality could try to take away looking at their bans. I think it was quite obvious they would go for this, but now I think Akali is an amazing pick here for Perks if he wants to go for Akali. Very immobile backline. Any assassin, LeBlanc can do the job as well. Just, I think Akali's mid game could be a bit better, and the Vi ult on LeBlanc is a little bit tricky sometimes. We'll follow you through no matter what you do. So we'll see how they play it out, but Vitality, great front to back with Zeri, Yuumi, Sejuani, and Renekton, LeBlanc, very explosive side laners that can look to collapse. Koi straight up front to back. The Vi has dive next to the Gnar as well. But yeah, the Azir, Varus, Nash are very exposed. Need some self-peel. Need some help from the Mega Gnar most likely. And the Azir ult will be used to push away the Renekton most as well. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Perks is LeBlanc is something to be feared. You know, all time 36 games. Want to guess his win rate?
36 games?
36 games. I just want a percentage.
71.
72.2.
Ooh, okay, not bad.
That's very close.
Okay,
You didn't know that one as well. So
no.
Obviously, a lot of people look back to Perks against RNG when you talk about his LeBlanc.
Classic.
Classic
Good
game.
times. Cue the piano music.
Yep. And then things kind of failed after that for Perks sometimes in those international tournaments.
Well, he got the quarters from
He did get his quarters there, yeah, with C9. And since then has been struggling to make it back to the top of the roost. But here on Vitality, he is having a very strong start to
with
Winter
LeBlanc
Split.
in that Worlds that got them to quarters, wasn't it, in the tiebreaker? Because I remember he did one mistake where he went back on LeBlanc and died.
Was that the game against Rogue?
Yeah, I believe it was
I think
against
I
Rogue.
cast that game because I remember my end call, which was like in a group of death, C9 breathed life into North America or something.
Clean.
Yeah, it was a good line. Anyway, let's get back to this game of League of Legends, Koi versus Team Vitality. To be honest, Kedro, it's been a bit of an odd day. We had SK in game one losing to Astralis. We've had Fnatic getting demolished by Mad Lions in the last game. We had whatever happened during that microphone section earlier on before this game started. It was a little strange, but this game vitally important for Koi. If they lose all 3 games this week, it's very unlikely that they make it into the top 8. And taking a win off a scalp like Vitality not only helps you because you have another win in your column, but also our tiebreaker rules are broken by head-to-head initially, but then by the strength of your victories. So if you beat teams near the top, you actually are more likely to break a tie because you've beaten the best team in the league.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So Koi desperately need this G2 tomorrow. Double Halo Blades in bot lane, and against Zeri Yuumi, I think they'll want to walk past the wave and try to chunk them as much as possible. They've got this like little double pincer going on here. When the wave settles, I expect them to look to try to step up. Perk's going to ward the Raptors. We'll see if Larson, I think, put his ward up. Was Malring, sorry, put his ward up there, just in case. Bo tries to do Raptors Red Krugs and move towards mid because LeBlanc is something you really want to gank for.
Yeah. That combination of Perks and Bo has just been so deadly. Yep. Step up, use the Halo Blades, get the autos down. Neon healed a little bit, Trimby forced away, but overall a positive trade for the Koi bot lane. You can see Comp still very healthy down here. One of the things with Halo Blades Ashe is like some people won't comment on the Ashe, and it's actually, in my opinion, a bit suboptimal. You want to get the Halo Blades in lane, you want to get all of these extra autos down and get both your Spectral Sickle stacking up, but also just extra damage on your lane opponents, and that's also why you go for the sweeper. Make sure you can get bush control and force Kaiser and Neon back.
Yeah, and I think they'll want to look for early dives as well if they can just keep stacking up these waves. They don't have incredible amounts of CC, but if they can land the VIQ, the Zeri will die quite quickly. No barrier, running the cleanse, of course. I mean, Varus Ashe, bit of a no-brainer, but I think that wave will crash. There won't be any threat of a level 3 dive on the 3rd wave because they have, you know, it's pushing too fast. But if now Malrang's going to move towards bot side, expect him to try to clear out his red, maybe look to invade. Oftentimes here in a game state where Malrang started bot side and he finished his red Raptor Scrugs, he could try to walk into Bo's bot side jungle and try to fight him. Can't do that yet, needs his red buff. And here's the mid gank for Bo, queuing over the wall. This is exactly what I believe Shio did in the BDS game. Larson
puts the ward down. Bo didn't have Arctic Assault, so couldn't close that gap.
Yeah,
good presence of mind.
Perks was only level 2 as well. Didn't have access to the chain. Now Malrang knows that Bo is there. He knows all his bot camps are up. The Ashe Hawkshot saw it too.
Oh, I think he was spotted there.
Saw him jump over too, so Malrang will probably blast going over. Wants to make sure he can save his Vault Breaker? Is that the Q?
The Q, yeah.
Okay.
We can just call it Q as well, man.
Okay. Much better.
Charging it up.
Charging it up. Does blue? Okay, he's just going to stand there. Now he's going back.
I mean, part of this is like delaying Bo. Bo's also shown some very inventive pathing. And sometimes when he gets invaded, he'll look for a gank instead. And he'll try and like sneak down towards the bottom lane, see perhaps if he could catch Trimby and comp off guard, because they think they're safe with Malrang down in this position. And Malrang able to keep track of Bo for the moment, takes the Scuttle Crab, and can actually double crab here if he wants. Could go up towards that top side.
Looks like he's moving towards his own jungle camps. Bo is going to finish off that blue. Bot push has kind of disappeared right now. Looks like Vitality have started to poke back and have sustained through a lot of the damage that was thrown their way. And of course, Larsen TPing back means Perkz wants to trade as hard as possible, take a recall, and then of course any health he's lost now won't really matter. Doesn't get a potion out of Larsen yet. The wave's not in a great state. If Larsen can stop that base, that'll be amazing for him. But Malrang's on Raptors, moving towards top side, trying to get that double crab like we talked about.
Yeah, and Trimby also using the Hawk Shot there to make sure that they know where Bo is before they step up for the trades. They had to back away a little bit because Bo was on that bot side of the map. Now TP's used towards the mid lane, and overall the early game has just been a little bit of a jab here and there, you know, a punch, trying to land them. And you have to expect through the game that the key points that we'll be looking at are these mid-jungle duels. You know, Bo and Perkz have been so powerful throughout the course of the split so far, and Larsen and Malrang haven't really found their form as of yet.
I mean, look at that, those stats on the right from
Yep.
Perkz. First. At 14. That's all early game right next to Bo. Kill participation, 91.7% for Bo in the first 40 minutes of the game, so nothing really happens without him. And Perkz is warning the side that Bo is hovering towards, looking for a lane gang top, fighting in bot, up a little bit low on mana, Neon dashes forwards.
There's the heal used by Kaiser alongside the Ignite, just trying to force Trimby back. Counter heal was used. Yeah, that's both summoners for only a single one. Trimby will have to back though, doesn't have the sustain on the Ashe that a Yuumi can provide.
Yeah, Vitality ideally here will just push in the bot wave and take a base of their own. Bo's going to cycle through his second camps here. Malrang likely to base soon too. Bit of a slow early game, not too much action. Slightly Koi favored, looking at how the lanes are going, and the fact that jungle got that extra camp.
Is that expected? Like, if you looked at these matchups, I'd expect Varus Ashe to get the push early and be in a pretty strong position, assuming they can avoid any bow ganks. Mid lane, Azir into LeBlanc seems to be going about as expected, as well as Bo tries to change that a little bit, but Larsen continues just to keep Perkz at arm's length.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much of an... I mean, unless you're looking for an early top dive, I don't think Vitality can look for that much. Malrang's pathing has really helped his bot lane out, and when he leaves from the bot crab towards the top side of map to double crab, his bot lane just has to give up the push. There's nothing they can do to keep them on the tower. They've lost information on Sejuani, and she's in her own jungle, so they can't afford to push, so the pressure disappears, and Vitality's bot lane can go even. The trade-off is Malrang can get ahead. So yeah, it looks like Shigen has been playing really safe, keeping the wave near his tower, steal Cap's first item. Bo's really only option was a lane gank there, but he had to path bot in case the Zera Yuumi got dove early. Information for Koi onto Bo.
Constant hawk shots. Bo was spotted there. Malrang working his way down, and Bo steps right into him.
Yeah.
One more auto would be enough to get the stun off, but Bo can't quite get it.
2v2 is... 3v3, sorry, is a little bit hard on this bot side right now because the Vi beats Sejuani 1v1. That's the power of having a skirmish favorite jungle. So he can push Bo out alone and look to start up this dragon right now. Koi have a stacking wave bot that they can crash whenever they want, move towards that objective, and they'll start accruing themselves an early scaling from the soul. Herald spawning in a minute. Shigen pulls back Photon there on the Mega Gnar. Tries to get a little bit of damage onto him, but both of them with steel caps, I think it's really hard to find a kill.
I mean, that's the thing. It's really hard to find a kill everywhere. Both the junglers just been trying to track each other. Malrang's done it very well, keeping Bo under wraps, and now the dragon will be started because he's got that pushing bot lane. And this is kind of how you expect the first few minutes of this sort of game to go.
I'd be a bit scared if I was Koi of a top dive right now. If Bo can take one more camp, he'll level up to 6. Pink Ward is in the bush there. They'll spot him out just about now. Larsen doesn't have TP. Do they have the damage for this dive? Shigen is just going to run away. I think he thinks he runs
back in. Gonna get stunned up, flashes away, unable to build up the Mega Gnar with another jump. Photon has to flash as well. And Shigenda survives the top dive and is able to walk away, trying to build up that Mega Gnar. Won't find it, is eventually forced away, but doesn't lose too much as he can now step back towards his wave.
Yeah, really no damage. There's just base stats on this Renekton Sejuani up against the Steel Caps Gnar. I think level 6 there for Bo would have guaranteed the dive because the E auto and then the R auto chain CC is probably enough to allow, well, the damage and Photon to get a couple extra auto attacks in to get the kill. But all the meanwhile, almost 2 plates for Koi's bot side. This is the value of the first pick Ashe. This is the value of Varus on this patch. It's just all about pushing the lane as hard as you can.
And as a support, sometimes it's pretty boring. I'll be honest, I like melee supports. I like to go in, I like to fight, but Trimby has always been a support that's been willing to play, you know, these ranged champions. His Lux in the past, obviously he was always very good on enchanters as well, and Ashe kind of fits that wheelhouse here for him, just about harass, about prodding down your enemy. You can see Comp moving up towards mid lane here as well. Did have the Chain of Corruption. If Perks dashed forward, maybe could find him. Trimby not yet 6, so no risk of an arrow.
Vitality struggling here a little bit to contest anything. Looks like Malrang just going to walk the Herald on Vision, start it up and take it away. Bo just ticked over to that level 6, so he could look to contest it if he wants, but he has no mid-push. Photon's just coming out of base. Herald's basically already dead. So objectives slowly... It's not anything flashy, but this is the way Koi need to play the game. They have Azir, Varus, Ashe, keep range, keep them safe,
Oh, here we
stack
go.
up objectives.
Arrow.
Here comes the arrow.
Ooh.
That
Onto
is
Perks.
right between
Koi
the eyes.
going in, but a great Glacial Prison. Emperor's Divide was
what?
just short.
What?
Couldn't quite get in range. Glacial Prison stopped Larson from getting close enough. Bo flashes over the wall. And even though the arrow connects, they couldn't quite find more. Neon there with final chapter Chain of Corruption, immediately cleansed by the Vitality bot lane.
How did that Azir ult not hit? I thought he was just in range, because it obviously has a little bit of a pushback because they come from behind, right? Doesn't land onto Perks. And Malrang can't get the ult off in time, I presume. Charge comes in, they get plates over, but that should have been a first blood there. We'll have to see the replay as to whether they could have landed more spells. The Wild, of course, went onto Sejuani, got Bo's flash, and that's basically the merit they got out of this on top of the plates.
And this is what Koi used to do so well, though. Like, they had some of the least bloody games last year when they were rogue. But they managed to get lane advantages, managed to get CS advantages, managed to get extra plates, extra objectives in the early game. Well, have another look at this arrow.
So arrow hits the right one. How does this...
Glacial Prison.
This is Zero. Oh, he gets pushed back by the Q. But Bo was, I guess his hitbox is bigger. Malrang doesn't want to ult Perks there because he'll flash under tower with him, I presume, so he doesn't want to risk it. But I think the Sejuani Q just pushed him back far enough that the LeBlanc hitbox was smaller than the Sejuani's, and then it didn't land. Unlucky there for Koi. Should have been a kill, but still 3 plates over to this Azir.
According to our production observer team, you are entirely correct there, Kadron. On the hitbox, the Q just knocking Larson far enough away. Not that it's surprising you're entirely correct, but it's always nice to have, you know, a second
thanks,
confirmation.
Yeah, gassing me up now. Casting with you is
important,
nice. Normally you just make fun of me. It's a
I
bit
mean,
of a change.
on your streams, I make fun of you because I can like
you.
cheer 100 and then say something funny, and all
Yep.
of chat just goes, "Oh, medic, kek farmer," you know.
Yep, you are a bit
Get
of a
my
tech
little
farmer.
shovel out and I start farming.
Well, they might farm Photon's health bar in a second. Malrang doesn't have... It's ult up in a sec. It's about 5 seconds.
Larson's
Ult
here
up.
as well. Photon pops the Dominus. Arrow just wide. The TP coming in as well with Photon. Emperor's divided down. Perks looking to Shigenda, who underneath the tower will fall.
Yeah, no flash from the earlier play on the dive. He can't really get out. Malrang's ult just came up. Shigenda was a little bit hesitant there because he didn't have the Mega on our ult. He didn't really want to tank, but he had to end up doing so. Larson coming in with the shuffle has enough damage to get the kill. Perks in a bit of an awkward spot here. He's going to get chunked out a bit. The passive helping him avoid an extra auto attack. Perks actually, ooh, nice combo there. W's forwards, Q's, and then ult W's to kill the creep to land the chain, but he just missed.
Perks continues to show us that his LeBlanc, something that he's very practiced on in this game. But overall, pretty even between these two teams. About a 900 gold lead for Koi. Those extra plates in the mid lane definitely helped them out. The Chempunk Chainsword now finished for Malrang. Sometimes we bemoan the early rush of an Executioner's item, but here against a Yuumi, I think it makes quite a lot of sense, and reducing the healing that Yuumi can give.
Yeah, it's just good base stats. I
Yep.
think Bo was doing a Q&A and everyone asked him, why do you build Chainsword first on buy? He just replied, good stats.
It is good stats, that's true.
So yeah, good stats from the item. 700 gold lead right now, Malrang, because of that first blood and those plates from the Herald and the Herald kill, of course. So Bo's not really found too much yet in this game. Perks just answering the response of Koi. Bo still has access to that ultimate, doesn't have flash, dragon spawning in 10. Maybe he wants to look for a fight around this river.
What have we got in terms of
On Vision,
summoners?
though.
Well, Flash is up pretty much across the board. Photon's up in 6 seconds. Bo's on its way. We'll see if Vitality want to start up this dragon, because they can. They just had a reset coming out from Comp. He's picked up the Eclipse, so he's in a very strong position if he can get here, but
A bit risky from Vitality. The information that they have right now is Varus is missing, and they have mid-push. So, do you want to take that risk? Well, there goes Ashe ult, so that helps a little bit. Perks can
Perks.
chunk out Malrang here.
2 chains. Gets Malrang down to half HP. Bo still very healthy.
Oh, Trim might have to flash here.
Flashes away from the Glacial Prison. That's another ult used, though. Both
Yeah.
the top laners trying to come down. You can see Photon being held at bay by Shigenda. Now, Comp does have to push down towards this bottom side. Larson will continue to push in the mid wave, and Vitality decide after missing that Glacial Prison, or after it was flashed away from, they don't think they can take the Dragon right now. Shigenda's still trading onto Photon. But the, man, those Ninja Tabis. Oh, sorry, plated steel caps.
Nope. Not going to blame you for them, Ninja Tabis.
It just makes it so difficult to do anything in
Just
the top
feels
lane.
right. It does, you know? But yeah, when Photon gets Blade of the Ruined King, that's when he'll start pushing back. But the worrying thing for Vitality here is your top lane's losing trades. Shigenda has vision and is pushing in the Renekton, while also they're getting Dragon and they have mid-push. So what's the play here? Bo's just farming his wolves at his tier 2. Not really able to look for anything. Larson just hitting this tower for free, not really afraid of a Sejuani engage. Has Flash, has Emperor's Divide, has Merc Tread.
One chain, 2 chains. Larson able to dodge away from it. Second one route didn't quite come out. And as you say, he's got Maoang in the corner, able to protect him.
That's him in the corner. But yeah, Bo doesn't have ultimate. Oh, Neon. They might get comps. They might kill him, actually.
Booted up with the final chap to cleanse, flash away, but Neon's going to flash to chase him down, and Neon will get his first kill of the game.
Really good play there from Vitality's bot lane. Comp thought that they had base. I think they just wrapped around and hid in the bush. Now Koi's looking for a top play. Photon has the ultimate. Shigenda's pushing him back. No more plates, but they can start chunking down this tower. Larson's hovering around, has that mid push. Perks is coming out of base. See what Kaiser does. He could try to join up with the top side of the map to try to get some mid push going on here because the top side's struggling.
I think with Herald being up in 20 seconds as well, it looks like Vitality might try and invest 5 members up towards this top side. Photon can go bot and TP up if he wants. Neon and Kaiser will catch this wave as it pushes in. Bo is in, waiting in the wings in case anything does happen. But I wonder if Vitality will want to take this fight.
Oh, that blue orb. Didn't see it there.
Spot
Shigenda just blue orbed the Krugs and it spotted Neon and Kaiser and Bo. I think they were looking for a lane gank there with 3 men following Photon to catch out Shigenda, so really good map awareness there. Here comes the engage.
Perks dashes, but the flash bolt breaker into the cease and desist. Perks trying to survive, but he can't get away from the piercing arrow. Very clean, as you say. Take him to the laundry as Maoang now tries to retrieve the TP coming in. Photon going in with the Dominus. Knows Maoang doesn't have the Q or the ult. Shigenda now joins the party. Larson coming in from the side as well, and Bo and Neon are split from Photon. But they will be able to walk away. Should be, though, another objective secured for Koi.
So really a full send there by the Renekton, wasn't it? TP in, I'm going in, I don't want to waste TP, flash over the wall, ult, everything.
Oh, Larson. Glacial Prison connects. The chain CC is enough to kill off the Emperor. Bo now stepping forward, the Rift Held secured by Maoang. Vitality, going to go any further? Meganar, always a risk. Perks only just spawning and doesn't have the TP, means that it will end up just being a kill for a Rift Held trade.
That's Renekton Sejuani for you right there. Just chain CC, stun no matter what, even with Merc Treads. Bo wants this blue buff, base coming in there from Trimby. Bit of a mistake from the Koi mid laner, allowing an actual small advantage for Vitality in the sense that a kill is donated over to this Renekton. Was a little bit behind, but now he has that blade. Can start building towards that Prowler's Claw. They might get a top tier one as well. So despite
the first tower of the game.
TP's coming. Well, this TP
There's an
is
arrow,
really...
there's an arrow! Oh, the catch! From long range, Robin Hood from the base, Trimby kills off his enemy support.
Oh, Kaiser, right between the eyes, lands on top of him. No one there to block it.
Maoang, we saw that.
Oh, he could have maybe gotten Bo's flash there, actually, because his ult's up in 3 seconds. Could have chased him out. Unlucky misplay there. Now Koi will be the ones to answer with this top tier 1. Fantastic arrow from Trimby.
And what a change for Koi as well. Like, Vitality have not really been able to do too much in the early game, mostly because Maoang has tracked Bo so well, as has Trimby with the Hawk shots. But up until this week, Koi, I think coming into this game, you would not have expected them to be really able to challenge Vitality. Like, the expectation here was Vitality should pretty convincing, thank you, taking this game. But Koi really putting them on the ropes. It is only 1,000 gold lead, but it's 2 dragons to the good. It's an Infernal Soul point coming up in a minute and a half. And Koi are really playing with Vitality right now, pushing them back at every turn.
And it's good scaling as well. I think the poke Varus next to the Azir DPS, sorry, excuse me, will be really good at melting down through Vitality's front line. It's just Neon who will be the biggest threat. This Zeri Yuumi, it's about dodging away from the enemy spells and then turning. If he can dodge away from the Meganar ult, get out of the Vi ult and actually live, then he can start turning onto the enemy team. And that's when he will become a threat. Once all the spells are down, it's normally when you see the Zeri step up, or at least try to dodge and outplay. Maoang's been hovering here for quite a while. Maybe they're going for another arrow-Vi combo.
Here we go.
He's going to miss, but will Maoang...
Wait, he dodges back!
He baits the observers!
Oh, he can execute, actually.
He can.
Will he get it? Trimby's on the way.
Trimby will tag him, I think.
There's a volley, there's a volley, there's a volley. Yeah, Trimby tags him and Perks
Now
will
give the
die
kill to
Trimby.
Yeah, Azir gets the assist though, and there's a wave top still. So what'll happen here is Malrang will probably run mid and put Herald down to get the Drake quickly. Perks up in 30 seconds with TP. Larson doesn't, so Larson will push in top, get this tower, and try to base.
They're trying to get the Neon's cleanse
no
out
flash.
here as well. No flash for him. Chain of Corruption was just short. Shigenda dashing forward as well, but Neon.
Well, they're really chasing this.
Lightning crash out. Shigenda still looking for the chase. Making
ult
an
flash here, ult
final
flash.
chapter as well.
Oh, he got
Got
rooted.
rooted just as he went for the ult flash. Couldn't quite find it.
That's unlucky there for Koi. They probably could have had a kill. Photon gets bot tier 1. Larson gets top tier 1. Dragon is up. Perks has TP in 3 seconds. Here comes Larson moving down. Shigenda doesn't have access to that Mega Gnar.
Arrow's back up as well.
Where's Perks' TP? Is he going to use it? He's using it right behind. This TP is a bit confusing. The timing.
The arrow. Oh, she just stepped straight into it. A sitting duck for Trimby and another kill over to Koi. And now Vitality needs to try and fight this Drake, but you're a man down. You are Perks down. And Koi will step forward and claim their prize. Third dragon of the game.
Wow, that timing from Trimby was immaculate. Pixel perfect, almost. Perks had maybe half a second to react somehow, but I think it would land through his animation of W anyway, so he was probably dead. Perks really struggling this game, and he's against Vi, which is really good at locking down the LeBlanc, and Trimby's arrows are just heat-seeking towards a target, most notably Perks or a Cat. So they're always managing to find kills. Now just trying to cover this side lane push. Bo's trying to team up with Photon here to try to get a pick onto Shigenda.
Smart moves here.
Is he going to jump on the
Vitality.
wave? Don't jump on the wave, Shigenda.
They're waiting for Shigenda to go into Mininar. Jumps away. Photon looking for the chase as well, but Shigenda gets the movement speed from the Mininar and gets the hell out of there. The arrow. No, he's basing. He's basing.
He'll get his cleanse, I think.
It's basing.
Oh,
Told you.
It's one of those things where you're so close to recall that it doesn't matter.
It's like the last tenth of a second or something.
I just heard an all chat. Someone just wrote an all chat.
Come on, man.
I think Neon just wrote maybe a smiley face in all chat, you know.
Not even close.
Nice
baby.
try. Yeah, so there's Herald top. I think it was placed because it was running out. Don't think that's something Koi can act upon. Maybe best case it hits the tower. We'll see if Neon can get it down. But I don't think they'll get the full thing from it.
At least get one charge.
Yeah.
Down to about 3/4 HP on that tower. Neon should be able to clean this one up. Gets a couple of extra auto attacks in as Neon clears out the wave, and then gets the extra 25 gold for taking the Herald. But right now, Koi very much in control of this game. 3,000 or 2,500 gold ahead. One dragon left for them to take to claim the Infernal Soul. So no mountain drakes for either of these teams. None spawned, obviously, but it's an important track that we keep track of that stat. You know.
Yeah.
Make
But
sure
I've looked to see tomorrow if there's one that.
Yeah, if a Koi or a Vitality.
See if they can capture a mountain dragon.
It's always a possibility. Larson, though, topping the gold charts right now. Has 600 gold ahead. Comp as well, sitting in a very pretty position. And Perks all the way down below the jungler of Koi. Malrang able to edge him out right now.
Yeah, state of the game right now is very Koi favored because obviously in 3 minutes they have a soul point. It's on Neon really to find his way to these team fights, try to carry. He needs to get that Phantom Dancer quickly, burn through the front line, and Bo will try his best to protect him. Photon maybe can get that Prowler's Claw as well before that Dragon. Yeah, he should be able to get it. And then it's a case of, can you one-shot someone? Because if he can get on top of Trimby, he's dead, yes. But Comp can maybe cleanse Flash out in time, we'll have to see. Then the flip side of it is, Koi's Baron is really fast. So if Vitality overcommit numbers bot side to try to defend that soul, Koi will sneak an Ashe, and they'll keep top push to keep that threat alive.
And an issue for Vitality as well is the Umbral Glaive sitting on this Ashe. It gives you so much vision control, basically for free. Like, you want the item anyway, but the ability just to one-shot a ward as an Ashe and have an extra sweeper and know if you're standing on vision just makes it so much easier for Koi to deny any possibility of Vitality.
Ooh,
an arrow coming out once again. Perks dash forward, dashes back, and it goes between the uprights.
Very, very close. Perks, I think as the game progresses and as all these arrows are just flying in his direction, he becomes a bit more and more scared to keep jumping on top of Larson. Ideally, the way the LeBlanc works is you jump on top, chunk him out, and you act as a poke champion, then you go back to the wave and rinse and repeat when your cooldowns are up, but it's hard to cycle through them when Trimby and Malrang are constantly hovering and looming with the threat of their ultimates. So Larson's had so much protection this game. I think Koi is one of the best teams in Europe at playing around mid to keep Larson safe, because the last 2 or 3 years, Larson has always leaned towards mages, and mages need a bridge to the mid to late game, and that comes from your jungle and support. So they've done a fantastic job so far at even setting him up to get some kills as well.
He's currently at 1-1 and 3. 2 items complete on the Azir. Koi here very happy just to bounce waves for a little bit. Look for a pick here or there with the Ashe arrow, but they've got a minute and a half, 90 seconds before that next Drake spawns. Another arrow goes out. Look at the cooldown of it, like it's already ticking away. It's probably about 40, 42 seconds right now, maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
42 or thereabouts.
yeah, really low cooldown. Trimby can just afford to keep throwing out these arrows. So 1 minute 20 seconds, the game will just explode in one team's direction. Likely Koi's right now with the setup they have.
How do you play it as Vitality? Perkz looking to do something here with the Yumi on his shoulders, but like you have to get onto Comp, you have to get rid of his cleanse, or you have to get onto Azir and burst him, but it just feels like there's too much protection coming out from Koi.
All about the flanks. They need Bo to come from a different angle. They need Photon to TP behind or come from a different angle. Ideally, your Dragon setup for Vitality would be Neon, Bo, and Kaiser in the river, and Photon and Perkz on either side poking or threatening an engage. That makes it so Koi have to stay as a ball, and then you can just keep poking them down or trying to find an angle where one of them makes a mistake. Because if you just run at them head first, Vitality have no chance.
Let's see if Vitality can break open the next fight. 30 seconds on it. You can see Koi, 4 members strong, push down towards the bot side river. Larson about to base. Will he pick himself up? Maybe a stopwatch, knowing that this next fight is important.
Yeah, 30 seconds, 20 seconds.
Has the TP still.
Perkz has TP as well. He needs to base Perkz. Is he looking for that top tower? He's being a bit greedy up there. He needs to get a base off soon. I think he is. It's really low HP, so he should be able to pick that up. But now, the flip side is Larson will be first this mid wave.
Yeah, Larson gets the stopwatch, gets back here, joins up with his team.
No wards in the bot side jungle either, so Perkz doesn't really have the best avenues to TP. Photon's still in their own jungle. He needs to get around this Dragon Pit. They've already started it up, and Koi know which direction.
Before they even get there.
Yeah, it's gone. They're way too late. This objective, they have no chance.
Just impossible. Great management by Koi to make sure that Vitality had no way in, but a little bit late there by Vitality. A bit of greed from Perkz, perhaps, to take the tower. Now, the arrow's already used. Mauer looking for Perkz, but he dodges away from it. Bo and Neon going to try and retreat. Shigenda goes forward. The tower still stands. Flash Nav, a possibility here for Shigenda. Arrow about half the way off cooldown. Perkz dodges across the wall and dashes back, and that's the poke you're talking about. If you can find a flank, Perkz does have some damage under his belt, but at the moment, Koi just have total control, and they're going to push down mid.
And they're struggling to face check. When Koi had that set up. Yeah, this is it. This is the kind of flanks they need. Photon needs to get behind them.
Just used.
They have a tower, though. I don't know how they're getting past this tower. Koi have a line of defense. They can't break through this. They're just going to keep pushing. Vitality need to take a base, reset, and try to find another opportunity. That opportunity is long gone.
Bo's trying to dash away. Glacial Prism being used. Bo protects his top laner. The Boton duo working out well for a moment there, but yeah, Vitality lose Infernal Soul. They also lose a tower out of it, and all they managed to gain is a couple of minions in the mid wave. Didn't even take the mid tier 1.
Yeah, it's rough. Vitality, I'd have to watch it again, but yeah, just way too late to the setup. Maybe they were afraid of face checking.
Would be.
The Varus Qs are too much, poking them down, you know, face checking into a Vi, instant gap close. They didn't have any bot push, they didn't have any mid push. Perkz was a little bit late. But yeah, they can't afford to just give that up for free. They tried to find an angle afterwards, but with that tower from Azir passive, you can't dive them at this stage.
This is huge for Koi. Like, such a convincing performance. Yes, it's slow. Yes, it's methodical, but that's exactly what Rogue were in 2022. That's exactly what they were, perhaps with a little bit of spice from Malrang in the early game when they took down their title. And when you're looking at sitting in 7th place right now, picking up this win just brings you that little bit further away from the chasing pack, takes you away from Fnatic, takes you away from Astralis, and keeps your destiny in your own hands. If Koi win out this weekend, they will make they'll make the group stage.
Yeah.
Obviously, playoffs is our top 4.
And I think with this 4-game lose streak so far that they're on, making best of 3s is all they really care about right now. They don't care where or what place they're in. 8th, 5th, 5th, 6th, doesn't matter. They just need to get into those best of 3s because this team needs time. And you can see that 0-3 weekend last week, now looking a lot stronger here against Vitality, but like you said, slow and methodical, and they just need to be slow and methodical around this Baron. Don't want to throw, don't want to be over-eager, don't want to bite off more than you can chew. The LeBlanc can still look for a one-shot here. Perkz going to hide on this bush. When he has W up again, blue orbs it. So smart, you know? Yeah. Don't want to overextend, want to make sure you check every bush.
And with the Infernal Soul, your poke is ever so much more deadly here from Trimby, from Comp. Even from Larson, if you can get some soldiers into a good position. Photon trying to farm up down towards that bottom lane, but Koi continue to just have a stranglehold on this topside jungle, a stranglehold on this game. All they're doing now is denying vision for about 2.5 minutes, and then after they've done that, they know. There's no... Oh, Perkz has to flash it. The thing is, he doesn't need to flash that if you have perfect vision.
Exactly. He doesn't know how close Malrang is, he doesn't know how close Larson is. He sees nothing. Now he sees him on Baron after the blue orb's been dropped by Neon. Are they too late to this as well?
Bo's trying to get there, but he's ever slowed by Trimby. Chain of Corruption did go wide there. A a possibility for Vitality if they want to engage, but Koi just back away.
So what Vitality ideally want to do here is just hold on until Elder. Then at least they have some threat of if they go Baron, they can start Elder, they can start trading, they can start cross-mapping. And if they can secure that Elder or steal it from Koi, the game is anyone's. Despite being this far down up against an Azir, building towards 3 items in an Infernal Soul, if they just get that one Elder Dragon, the game can flip on its head. So patience is what Vitality need. They just need to slow Koi down. And Koi really want to put their foot on the gas, pushing these mid-waves, start Baron, make Vitality walk into them, because they know that if Elder's up, and it does come down to a 50-50, everything Koi have built up over this last 30 minutes can just fall apart.
Oh, Perks went straight into it. He jumps back into it. Oh, just short. No Chain of Corruption for Com. No follow-up. Perks able to get out of there.
Close. If Malrang was a couple meters closer, that was a dead LeBlanc, that was Baron, that was game over. That's the power of being ahead. Just one pick is all you need to start forcing